Micah Parsons sends direct message to Cowboys front office. Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons wants his extension done soon as he looks to eliminate distractions ahead of training camp. Parsons is entering the final year of his rookie deal and has been in negotiations with the Cowboys on a long-term, lucrative extension. While things have progressed, the sides appear to disagree on the overall value. You look around the league at most of these players who are getting these very top contracts. It does take time ultimately to get there, and believe me, if we could sign Micah to a number we wanted to sign him to, we do it right now, Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones said. But right now, there's a difference in what we feel is the right number, and what he feels like is the right number. Parsons has been in attendance for the team's voluntary off-season workouts, a show of good faith amid negotiations. However, he also emphasized that he would like to finalize the deal before training camp. It's really important. You see a lot of players struggle when guys aren't participating in camp. They get off to a slow start. I don't want to get off to a slow start, Parsons said. I want to hit the ground running and establish ourselves in this league. Get some wins early in the season and be in rhythm. It's going to be extremely important. Bengals receiver Ja'Marr Chase recently reset the bar for non-quarterback contracts. Parsons is expected to surpass the $40.25 million annually that Chase makes. Parsons' production on the field is elite, which has put him in the position to land a record-setting contract. He has 52.5 sacks over 4 seasons and has been in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year multiple times. However, the Cowboys want Parsons to step up as a leader. The assumption here is that we're going to get something done, and so he knows or should know how important his work is around here and how important his being around here working is to leadership, owner Jerry Jones said. It's a big deal. It's the main reason why I've kind of taken some of the attitude I've taken about this thing. Micah just has to be elevated in his leadership and will be, or it will be a downer when he gets his anticipated contract. It will be a downer if he does not elevate leadership. Parsons said part of the reason he's attending the optional workouts is that he needs to learn the new playbook under new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. But he also wants to build a strong relationship with new head coach Brian Schottenheimer, who is taking over for Mike McCarthy. I just thought it was important for my relationship with our new head coach. I want to help him in any way I can. If he asks for me to come in for a couple of days from a leadership aspect, to be around the guys and showcase, that's something I'm willing to do for my coach. Earlier this offseason, Jerry Jones raised eyebrows by suggesting he might bypass Micah Parsons' agent, David Mulugheta, in contract negotiations. Parsons quickly shut down the idea on social media, standing by Mulugheta. When asked about Jones' comments, Parsons downplayed any tension, saying there's no bad blood. Overall, Jerry is one of the better people I know. And my agent is one of the better people I know, Parsons said. So it's like when your brother and sister are arguing. You don't step in the middle or choose sides. There's no hard feelings there. Cowboys training camp is slated to begin in late July in Oxnard, California. Dak Prescott gets honest on Cowboys trade for Joe Milton. The Dallas Cowboys traded for Joe Milton earlier this offseason, and Dak Prescott is excited to have a new face in the quarterback room. The Cowboys sent the New England Patriots a 2025 fifth-round pick, number 171, in exchange for Milton, who was a sixth-round pick last year. Dallas also received a 2025 seventh-round pick, number 217, in the deal. Dallas needed a capable backup with Cooper Rush leaving in free agency for the Baltimore Ravens. Prescott had nothing but good things to say about Rush, who spent the majority of his 8-year career with the Cowboys. I don't know if I could put a value on what Cooper Rush has meant to me throughout my career, Prescott said recently. You're talking about a guy who approaches the game the right way and is a real man off the field. A true leader in what he does. Baltimore is getting a hell of a guy to add to that quarterback room. The quarterback room looks different than it did a year ago, but Prescott doesn't plan to change his approach to how he works with his fellow quarterbacks. Anybody that's played with me or been in that quarterback room knows that all I care about is everybody pushing everybody and getting better, Prescott told reporters. I've already worked with Will Greer for years, know his mindset. I'm excited to add Joe to the room, and I know Will is as well. Milton is an interesting prospect with a rocket arm. He's looked solid in his minimal game action, passing for 241 yards and a touchdown in his lone start last season with New England. Milton said shortly after arriving in Dallas that he had touched base with Prescott and was ready to get to work. "It's great, he's a great person," Milton said. "This is my second time meeting him, so just being around him I feel the great energy that he brings and just willing and look forward to learn from him and really compete." Michael Irvin warns Dak Prescott about Joe Milton. Play. Some believe Milton has enough upside to eventually challenge Prescott for the starting job. Cowboys legend Michael Irvin even warned that if Prescott can't stay healthy, it could open the door for Milton to make his move. "Don't give this kid a chance, Dak. Don't give this kid a chance," Irvin said. "You better stay healthy, stay ready, stay on the football field. Now remember, you are making $60 million a year, this kid is only making $1 million a year. If you give him a chance on the field, it's going to get ugly." Prescott is coming off a season-ending hamstring injury that limited him to 8 games last season. He had surgery in November but is confident he won't miss any meaningful time. "If I had to play a game today, I definitely could do that," Prescott said in early April. "It's about moving forward healthy to make sure I can play 17 times, 20 games, whatever we get to when the time's right." Could Dallas Cowboys enter race to trade for Travis Hunter? Speculation has been growing around the idea that the Cleveland Browns are aiming to move back and collect more draft capital for the number 2 overall pick. After all, they have an immense amount of needs, including at the quarterback's position where Deshaun Watson could be out all of next season. However, if the Browns are attempting to trade the pick, there is still one major question that comes to mind: who could it be? According to NFL draft expert Todd McShay, it very well might be the NFL's most popular team, the Dallas Cowboys. "I don't think Cleveland's going to trade out this pick, but something big is coming down the pipe, because too many people are now kind of, who's the team, which team is it?" McShay said. "Everyone wants to say Dallas, and Jerry Jones made the comments that I'm something vague around like, we're gonna be making a move for a player before or after the draft, like, okay. I could see Dallas. It would make a ton of sense. A ton of sense. It's a hell of a lot better than sticking at 12 and taking Tetaroa, McMillan or Matthew Golden, who I love, but I don't love him like I love Travis Hunter. And then getting a cornerback with it. On paper this move would make a ton of sense for the Cowboys. They desperately need a playmaker at wide receiver, and they definitely need to add another body to their secondary with the injury to Trayvon Diggs and uncertain future of Darren Bland. Hunter not only gives them both, but arguably the best player at both positions with 1 draft pick. Not to mention, his mentor and former head coach Deion Sanders is a Dallas Cowboys legend. That said, the Cowboys have hinted they are not looking to move up via trade in the draft. It would also cost them an immense amount of draft capital to move up from number 12 to number 2. In fact, based on the NFL draft trade value chart, it's hard to imagine the Cowboys could even come up with enough to send back to Cleveland, barring adding a player or additional 2026 draft capital. In other words, while it sounds like the Jerry Jones-type splash Dallas needs to turn things around next season, the idea is also likely more of a pipe dream than a reality.